Welcome back, viewers. I am Zenith with you again, and as you can guess from my topic, today I'll be again explaining Scratch, but not the old every time new, every time a new topic, and I'll explain it in my most easiest words. So, what's my topic for today? It is the topic in which I'll be explaining the control and the looks. And as you might have seen my previous course or the lesson in my previous lesson, I had explained the motion and the events. These two major puzzles which are literally used in creating the sprite movement, and these both are very important. Like for example, these both are the main ones on which you will put some more blocks to make much animated characters. So without any further delay, let's get into the video. So now today I'll be explaining the control and the looks. Now, when I say looks, what does it mean by looks? Looks mean that how does a character is looking, not by the means that will be looking you by the eyes. I mean that you can make it change color. Like for example, when you're wearing clothes, and somebody asks you, how do you look like, or you ask yourself, how do I look like? So the word is then derived from there. So yes, in looks we can make the character either speak out, not by the original sound, but it can give the user a message. And you can also set the color, or you can do the color grading. Not only the color grading of it, you can even put some many funny effects on it, which I'll be explaining all of it right today. So first of all, let us choose our sprite, and our today's sprite will be, let us see. This bat does not look so bad. Let us take it. Okay, so now let us see. First of all, let us create the basic structural part which will be making the program work. The flag part, as you can see, when the flag clicked, it's really important for you to place this block at the beginning for the program to work when I press on this green colored flag. So now let us see the control menu first. So from the control menu, why is this menu so important, and why did I keep it in the beginning? Why? Because these are mostly used, like much often used. Now, as you can see from the first block is the wait block, and the wait block means that the sprite will wait before executing another program. Like for example, if I take move 10 steps in the front and then wait 1 second, and then it will move 10 steps backward. Now there is nothing like 10 steps backward, but as I had said, negative and positive numbers will always work. Now look, when the flag clicked, this is the program. When the flag is clicked, the bat will move 10 steps in the front, and then it will wait for 1 second, and then it will move 10 steps backward. So now let's execute it. So as you can see, the bat moved to the right for 1 second, and then it turned back, and it waited for some time, which is actually 1 second, and then it moved backward or to the left. Now yes, you can also increase this. Like for example, let us say wait 5 seconds. Now let us execute the program. For a clearer view, I'll make it full screen, and now you can see the flag will move to the right, and then after 5 seconds it will move to the left. And as you could see, the bat just moved. So why not create a much complex program by just putting in these funny turn blocks? I personally like these turn blocks. You could really create some funny animations with it. So let us see now what will the bat do. So it will turn to the left, and it will move to the to the right a bit, and it will also move. So yes, it turned straight. Why it turned straight? Because it was first 15 degrees to the right, then you made it move 15 degrees backward. So yes, cancelled out, and it came back to its original position. Okay, so that was the function of the wait. Now let us see repeat. For example, if you want to make the bat move 30 steps in the front, how will you make it move 30 steps in the front? Now there are 3 ways for this, and I'll explain each of them separately. For that, I will need 3 blocks. In the first one, which I'm going to show over here, move 30 steps. One is the direct way, but in this one there is no pause. Move 30 steps. I click on this, and the bat literally just directly moved 30 steps in the front without any further delay. Now this is the second way, and that is by placing 3 blocks again and again and again. Now the program will move 10 steps, then again move 10 steps, then again move 10 steps. So yes, the bat executed the exact same program, but then only the making of the program was in a different way. Now the third way is by using the combination of a repeat and move. Now basically, what does the repeat do? Repeat actually repeats the program by the given value which you gave it, and it repeats the block which is inside it. Like for example, any operation or function you wanted to give to it. So if you separately press on repeat, it won't do anything, because repeat is just specifying how many times the program will be executing. It will not give the bat to do or the sprite to do any action. It is just only a function to execute how many times it will be making the program execute. So let us see now. Repeat, and then the value which you want to put in, repeat 10 times. That means it will repeat the program 10 times. So if I, for example, want to make it move 30 steps, I will place in 3 multiplied with 10, 30, and then you place it under this, then you execute. So yes, also you saw a very smooth movement in that. As you can see, it glided. It did not quite much shift. It showed a bit of movement of gliding, and that much looked good. Now here's the thing: if you place a block under it, this repeat block will not go to the next one. Like, it will not operate like this. When the flag click, repeat, move 10 steps, and then it will directly go to turn 15 degrees. No, that's not how it works. It works after completely executing the repeat program. If you have given it to repeat this much times, only and only when it will finish repeating it by the given value, then only it will move on to the next program, which is turn 15 degrees. So that's how the program executes. Now as you can see, I'm going to execute this program. So yes, it moved first of all to the left, it moved first of all to the right, then it moved to then it turned 15 degrees. So it did not happen all together. First of all, the moving took place, and the turning took place. So that's how the program works. And you can repeat it as much as you want. But what if you want to make it repeat forever? Like forever you want to make it repeat. Like keep on working forever. Now this forever block, actually under this block you cannot place any other block. Once you place this block in a program, no other block can come under it. But a block can come in it or above it, but no block can come under it. Because forever means it will be executing that block forever, the forever block forever, and the next program won't get a chance to be executed. So that won't work. For example, I want to make it turn 15 degrees forever. This is what will happen. So yes, the bat is actually not literally moving in a whole 360 degrees circulation, and it looks very funny. And as I told you, in Scratch you can create many funny things, so do not hesitate to try it. I'm always recommending you to try this. It's quite good. So that's how the forever works. It's quite simple. It executes the same program forever. For example, if I say go to random position, now some programs really need to use a combination. If you use when flag clicked forever go to random position, this is what will happen. And the bat went crazy literally over the workspace. Now to calm him down, you will need to put in the wait command. And yes, as I told you, as I am telling you right now, you can combine any block you want. You can combine the forever and the wait, and any block which fits together can be combined to execute the program. Now forever, now this is the program which will take place. Wait 1 second, then go to random position. Then again, wait 1 second and go to random position, and so on. So now the bat is moving a bit more slowly. And in a kind of way, you can also make a clicker game in which you have to click on the bat to get some points. And I'll tell you that how you can make all of these fun, amazing games very soon. So first, quickly, let's learn the basics of the control and the looks. We'll soon get to the looks. Now, remember I told you about the decision blocks. The decision blocks are these blocks: if, then, if, else, if, then, else, wait until, repeat until. So let us see. If, then. Now in this one you can see there is a shape over here, and for fitting a block into this shape you will need to put specific blocks which are having the same shape. For example, touching mouse pointer, these ones do not make sense by their own self. Like it will only give true and false. Like right now it is giving false. For example, it means it's not giving the correct value. Now, to understand what is this false and true thingy going on in the whole program is, when a program is like working, then it will show that it is true, its condition is true, and if it is not working, then its condition will be false. For example, let us say, is the bat touching a color green? Now if you click on this block, you will check the condition and the condition will be false, which means no, it is not touching any color. Now let us see in this, if touching, let us go with this, if touching mouse pointer, then it will execute the program. As I told you, these are used for sensing. So first let us stay with the basics. And okay, let me also explain the sensing because it's coming in the part. So let us now see that one also. So yes, sensing is all I told you, in which the sprite can make its sense around of all its surroundings. Like for example, if it is touching the mouse pointer, if touching mouse pointer, then let us say turn 15 degrees. Now this will only happen once. Look, I press on the flag and this won't work. Why? Because the code has already been executed and the program already checked if the pad is touching in the mouse or not. So it's only for once. But if you want to like make it continuously check that am I touching it with my cursor, am I touching it with my cursor again and again and continuously checking forever, you'll have to place the if block, if and then block in the forever block, like encapsulated in the forever block. Now if you run the program, so now if you can see, when I touch the pad, it starts moving, it starts spinning, and when I go away, it stops. So here you can see you created a simple program in which you are touching the sprite with your cursor and the bat is moving. So well, yeah, that's how it works. Now let's move on to the next one, which is if then else. Now if then else has actually another way. It's actually the statement that this is, if this thing is happening, then execute this program, or else do not execute. The if then executing is showing for if this condition is true, and else is showing if this condition is false. And you can also do this by combining two if blocks. Yes, because combining two if blocks will also give you the same meaning as this one. If this is doing, then do this. If this is not doing, then do this. But if you want to make use of only one single block, then I recommend you using this block, if then else. Okay, so now let us see. Let's again go with the touching mouse pointer. So now let us see, if it is touching mouse pointer, we are going to make it's going to turn to the right 15 degrees, and if it is not, then it will turn to the left 15 degrees. Put it in the forever block, stop the program, it was already working, and now start it. Now as you can see, because I'm not touching it with my cursor, it is moving backward 15 degrees. As I told you, the else one will be always functioning because it's showing that that condition is true, that the cursor is not touching the bat, and so it will work. Now this is what will happen. If I will hover my cursor over to the bat, it will start spinning in the opposite direction. Look. And now it's turning to the right and it is spinning to the right. So that's how it works. And if you stay at the brim or at the edge of the sprite where it collides, where it does not touch but instead it collides with the mouse pointer, then this will happen, a sudden glitch. It's not actually a glitch, it's actually the cancellation of the turning to the right and turning to the left. They both have to cancel each other, and yep, then this glitch will happen. But this will only happen if you are at the edge of a sprite. As you can see, this will always happen if you're at the edge of a sprite. The mouse pointer will be then colliding with the bat, and yep, this glitch will happen. It's not actually a glitch. This is how the program basically works. You must be like on the mouse pointer. The mouse pointer should be right onto the bat for it to completely spin. So yes, that's a basic program which I've just taught you right now. Not only you could do this with the touch mouse pointer, there are many other things. That touching color, then there is color is when this color is touching that color, and then these ones are actually used not for, these could be used for sprite, these could also be used for other objects. Basically yes, they are used for sprites. For example, if you make a color, if you make a sprite, yes, you can make also sprite. For example, if I take to choose a new sprite over here, I took a new sprite. Now how you have to create a new sprite is by going over here, press on the paint button, and you will get an empty empty workspace, empty canvas where you will be able to paint your sprite. And let us, for example, just make this. You could literally make anything, and it will appear on your workspace as one single sprite. You can also undo it and create a color. For example, let us go with a thicker paintbrush. To make the paintbrush thicker, you need to increase the value from here. The paintbrush thickness, I've increased it by 100, and now it should be this much thick. Now here, look, if you create another sprite which has another color, for example, this one is a sprite which is having purple color. The other one is having, like for example, blue color. If these two sprites collide, this program will be then working through. Like, what does it mean then if this color is touching, if purple is touching pink? If a pink, for example, if a purple colored sprite is touching a pink colored sprite, then this condition will be true and the program will execute. So basically, this is what it means. So let's see and let's move on to the next block. When if key space pressed. Now this is again another. This is again another condition. There was also a block based on this, but that was not a condition. That was also a condition, but this one is another condition which you can place in the if. Now look, if space key pressed, turn 15 degrees, and if not, turn 15 degrees to opposite. I'm pressing my space key, and now it will turn to the right. So you can see it will be turning to the right. While when I leave the space key, leave the space bar key, it will turn to the left. Will start spinning to the left. So yes, you can also interact using your keys. So as I told you, the correct blocks will only fit with the correct ones. So there's not much of thinking you need to do that. Oh no, where you have to put this block. The shapes will definitely tell you. And yes, the shapes will guide you throughout your whole programming in this. The shapes which are fitting together will surely work. Okay, so again, these are variables as I told you. Username, current year, it's all variables in which and yeah, this is the timer which I was talking about. And then the loudness, as I told you, all of these are variables, which means these can be edited, these can be changed, and these can be put into variables. But this is another topic which I'll be explaining. So I'd explain you these all controls except the last one, stop all. And yeah, now this stop all is a stopper. Basically it stops all of the program. For example, if you're running a program and the bat is moving, if you press on this block, the program will completely shut down. Now for example, if you want to, this not only works on one sprite, this basically works on all of the sprites. All of the sprites present in the program will stop. Now for example, if you run the program, I've duplicated the sprite. Oh yes, if you're making program in one sprite, you can duplicate it by pressing it over here, right click, and then you'll see a small panel over here, duplicate, export, delete, and it will duplicate all of the programs and codes, whichever code is in it, into a brand new sprite, but it will be a duplicate of it. Now here are the things. If I press on this, stop, and the whole program will stop. That's the thing. Now there's also other conditions like stop this script. Now stop this script means that will only stop the sprite in which this block is. So this is basically the bat 2, which will only stop. Let us start spinning these both bat. Now the bat 2 will only stop because stop is only giving command to stop this sprite, not the other one. Oh yes, by the way, the script means that the script which is running. So if you put this over here, so now the bat stopped. Why? Because script means that will be stopping this script. Then there is other script in sprite as well. If you, for example, start running this again, same condition will happen. But this stop scripts in other sprite makes the block open. What do I mean by open? That look, the block shape will change. Before that, block was having this flat bottom. This script, stop this script, again this was also having a flat bottom, but this one, other scripts in sprite mean that this was one script. I duplicate this script, sorry, and now you can see that there are two scripts. For example, if you want to stop both of these scripts, you can connect them by using this block. Stop other scripts in sprite, and then you also connect this with it. So yes, that's how it basically works. It opens a gateway to another puzzle to work. And yes, that's how it works. Now other are when I start as a clone, then there is create clone of myself and then delete this clone. Clone, yes, cloning is how that, for example, if you want to, for cloning also there are separate blocks. I'm not sure where are those blocks, but yes, basically they create a clone and these three work on make work like clones. Like basically, yeah, this is what makes a clone. Now I pressed on this block and there is a clone of the clone of the object. Basically, it's just a clone. It's not a brand new sprite. It's a clone of the object actually. So yes, this is how you'll create a clone, and then this can also be used as a event to start out another program. When I start as a clone, and that's how it will work. For example, create clone of yourself. When this program will finish, it will create a clone of myself, means clone of the same sprite. Then there is also clone of that, which will specify it even more. And then this is an event which will only work when there will be a clone present in the workspace. And then this one can be used to delete the clone of the specific sprite on which you're wanting to delete. So yes, this is basically how the control works. It really allows some good control and good handy control over the whole work. Now to the looks, as I had shown, the looks are indicated with the purple color, and as I had shown you, the looks will give the interactivity to the user as well, and to the what should I say, the sprite. First of all, let us clear our workspace and let us bring in a brand new sprite to work on. Let us say, for example, this basketball. Let me increase its size. Okay, let's increase its size by 500. Okay, now you can see this clearly. So now let's go to the looks. And for example, if you want to make it say, if you want it to give you a message, say hello. It won't say hello actually in its sound because there is no sound program in this. So let us say hello. It will say hello. It will actually give you a message. Now you'll press on it, and the basketball just said hello. It looks very weird, but I'm not joking. If you want to create a story in which there is a character and they are talking to other characters, like a quest RPG, if you want to create, you can also create that by using these blocks. Hello, these dialogue blocks in which you type in the dialogue. Over here you type the dialogue. This place where there is hello, you type in the dialogue, and this for say the dialogue for these much seconds. For example, if you take 10 seconds, the message which will be given by the sprite will be there for 10 seconds, and it will disappear after 10 seconds. And as you can see, when there is the dialog box, the dialog box looks like this. The saying dialog box looks like this. The thinking, then there's also same block in it, but its name is thinking dialog box. In this, it works quite much same as the same dialog puzzle, but in this one, it instead gives it a bubble box. As you can see, a bubbly box. You can see clearly, it gave it a bubbly box. So yes, you can create much better expressions with it. Then there is switch costumes. If you want to do this, you will have to take a sprite which will have a costume. Let's, for example, for this one you have to take the characters which are having animations in this. When you hover over to the character in the library, they will automatically start doing the animation. Let us take this cake, for example, and let us delete the previous one. Now to make it switch costume, which is over here, I had explained this in a previous lesson, that there are costumes over here, or which you call different skins, or different skins you can call them, and basically you can switch between them either manually or either automatically, which I'm going to explain right now. First of all, we go to events and we create this short program. When flag clicked, switch costume to cake A or cake B. So right now it is cake A. Let us check. Okay, cake A is with the candle. Now if I press the flag again with the cake B program, the candles will go out. So that's basically how it works. Now if you want its costume to change repeatedly, then you can make it change repeatedly, but this one will only work once. No, even if you know what I mean by that, it will be working continuously will be, even if you use the forever block, it won't change much, because this will be giving specific directions. Only if you duplicate the block switch costume to cake A and then you put in another one which will be switch costume to cake B, this is what will happen. Yes, and it will kind of not work. So for it to work, for it to work smoothly, you will need to take this next costume. Next costume simply says to the program that simply just move on to the next costume which is just in front. For example, if it is cake A, go to cake B. If it is cake B, then go back to cake A. Like that will work. And now the candle will appear to flash. And look, you created just a simple animation by just using these three blocks. Then there's also next backdrop. Next backdrop is by placing it from here. As I told you, you can switch the backdrop, and it quite much functions the same as I was switching the costume of the sprite. Then there is change size. Changing size, you could change it from here, or you could just bring this in, and you can change this size by 10. Now it will go bigger because I changed its size by 10. Now it will grow bigger. Whenever I click in this, the size will become bigger. Now this one will specify it completely. This one will just set its size to the one which is over here. For example, set size to 100%. Now this value, which is 170%, it will set back to 100%, but it won't change by that percent. Now see, it just set to 100%. Like it will set the value to that percent, but it won't change by 100%. It would set. For changing it by 100, then you would need to definitely type over here 100 and then make it work. And yep, it became ginormous. Literally, it became humongous. Okay, so let's move on to the effects. This one, I was waiting for this one. Literally, I love these ones, and they sometimes create humorous effects on the sprite. Let's quickly have a review on it. So this is how it works. If you want to change the color of the sprite, you can press on this change color effect I, and then the color effect will change. Now you could also do with the fisheye. Fisheye basically makes it a bit fat from the middle. And then let us set it back. Again, I'd set setting, and changing is different. Setting is like setting it to a specific value, and changing is by changing it by a specific value. So you know now both of these effects. I'm just explaining the effects right now. What do the effects do? Then there is the world. Basically, the world creates a world in the middle of the sprite. And then there is pixelate. Pixelate creates the sprite, makes the sprite pixels. Then there is mosaic. Mosaic multiplies it. Yes, mosaic basically multiplies it, and you can multiply it as much as you want. So then there is brightness. You want to increase the brightness. Be careful. If you increase the brightness way too much, the cake will soon turn invisible. So make sure to keep the brightness back to 0, or else it will completely wipe out of existence. Then the ghost one also works like this. Now ghost effects is just like the brightness. A ghost can appear and a ghost can disappear. So you can technically say a ghost's function is to disappear, like because it can disappear. So change ghost effect by 25 will make the sprite slowly disappear, but it will be giving out effect that it's like a ghost and it will be disappearing in a way that a ghost disappears. Now you can see it will slightly wipe out. Wait, let me set it back. And now you can see it slightly wiped out. So yes, it functions just like the brightness. Then there are clear graphic effects. Now these clear graphic effects are these all effects that I'm telling right now. These are graphic effects. And if you want to clear all of them all together, like for example, if I take a fish eye and I create it into a fish eye, and then I also whirl it, I'm doing a combination. Then I also pixelate it, and then as well as I also make it into a mosaic. Now how you want to clear this all together? Just use this block and it will return back to the original position. Now the show and hide blocks. The show and hide blocks do the same work as I've shown you over here. You can either do it from here, the panel, small panel which is over here, or you could just simply put these blocks and make this work. And yes, it will give out the, basically it will not do the effect, it will make the sprite either appear or disappear. Hide for hiding, and the show for showing. So that's how it works. Now the sprites can also be layered, as you can see. You can layer them over one another. If I show you right now, I can layer this cake over this cake. So the cake which is under it is in the downward layer, is in the back layer. So if you want to make it come in the front layer, you simply go and okay, for this one, this is the front one cake, which one I'm holding right now. If you want to make it go back, simply press this one, go to back layer, and the cake will go to the back layer. This is the cake which has just got to the back layer. And again, these are the variables, and we can change these variables either from this panel or either from this panel. So I know this was a very long lesson, but I tried to explain it in an easier way, and I'm really saying this. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and one really important thing, if you have any misunderstanding of this Scratch program, make sure that you comment down so that I can clear this misunderstanding and make this program easy for you. I hope so that this program has been easily understood by you today in my today's lesson, and I'm going to see you soon in another video. Bye.